Alrighty, guys, we are now live. Now, you know how these shows go. It's very simple. You call the phone number for the law firm, which is 407-279-1754. I'm typing it in right now, 1754. And basically, you get to go ahead and call in. Now, obviously, it's just me with the phone. So if you see me on the phone with somebody, you don't keep calling in, because the bottom line is I can't pick up more than one phone call at a time. I can't answer more than one question at a time. Now, with that said, the rules are very simple. Use a fake name when you call in, number one. Number two, bottom line is don't go into story mode. Just have your legal question ready right up front. You get about 5 to 7 minutes per each call. If you need more time, right? If you need more time and it's a more complex situation, I do offer a thing where you can hire me for an hour. You basically pay the hourly fee. We put you on the hearing calendar, and then we go through the details of it. We already have the first caller on the phone. We're going to go ahead and go straight to this individual. So, good sir, walk me through, what is your legal question?
Yes. The question I want to know is, I got denied on my ALJ meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to know is, where do DDS send you to find out if you really is mental, physical part? Do they send you to a therapist? Do they send you to a psychiatrist? Who do they usually send you to?
Well, they usually send you to a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Sometimes we might even see the rarity of a behavioralist, but that's super duper rare. But usually it's a psychiatrist or a psychologist for the mental side. Then for the physical side, of course, it's whatever specialty the category of impairment actually falls into. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought they were supposed to send you to a psychiatrist. The judge did not believe anything that my psychiatrist said at all. He believed what my therapist said.
Gotcha.
And I thought a therapist is just like a substitute teacher. They can't give you medicine. A psychiatrist does. Mm-hmm. And he's been doing this for 30-something years, but on a paper, he said that he did not believe, in some way he did not believe what the psychiatrist said.
So did you get an ALJ denial? Like, what happened?
Yes, I got ALJ denial. And then what happened was, it took him 8 months to make the decision, and he said that your therapist said that you are improving. And he said it contradicts what the psychiatrist said. So he went with what the therapist said.
Okay. And that's the whole battle of the experts, weighing of the evidence, who gets what power, who gets what, who gets decreased in the weight of their evidence, stuff like that. So now you're looking at appeals counsel. When did you get your denial?
I got my denial, about 2 months ago.
Okay. So
it took him about 8 months for him to deny me, which he used 3 days after I had the meeting to pick August the 22nd for him to say that's the decision that he wanted to use.
Okay, let me ask you this, though. Did you already, it's 2 months, so you get like 60 days plus 5 mailing. Did you already begin the appeal or no?
Yes, I already did. I did the appeal and everything. And what I did was I had an MRI done. Because he said I could lift 20 pounds. But the MRI states that I cannot lift 20 pounds. The doctor even said I cannot lift 20 pounds. Even the people who do physical therapy put on the note that I cannot lift 20 pounds. But the judge said I could lift 20 pounds. And he also said on my mental part that I could have 5 minutes and then I would feel better. So he kept on saying less than 10, less than 10. He just drilled that. Because I listened to the ALJ meeting. He said by 5 times, less than 10, less than 10. But I thought that usually when you go to physical therapy, they don't give you what time. I go twice a week. And I go like between 8 to 12. And on an 8-hour job day, once I do physical therapy, I'm too tired to do anything. I'd be literally sore. So I'm trying to figure out how come he did not wait that at all.
Well, first and foremost, keep in mind, like when the judges are there, they're there to ask questions and gauge you as a person, gauge if you're being trustworthy, gauge if you are being accurate with details. They're there to gauge you. Then the whole entire system, based on which way the judge is leaning, goes to a writer, and the writer goes through the record to find details. And if the writer, finds anything odd, they'll point it out to the judge to maybe change the judge's mind or move the judge this way or that way or whatever. But the bottom line is, you're not happy because the writer didn't include those things that you feel would have gone and pushed the claim the other way, which is a totally proper emotional feeling. With that said, to be fair, now you're going to appeals counsel because you get a denial. A lot of people think that whatever happens in their file, and this is something in the disabled community it's always been this way. It shouldn't be this way, but it is that way, where the disabled community feels like the judge is going to give them a fair shot because they're going to look at all the evidence with a fine, tooth comb, pull everything out that makes them look good and put it into that brief. That's not reality. That's not even close to how it works. There's no way to read through thousands of pages and magically get everything right. So at the end of the day, and consistently over and over and over and over and over again, so you're doing hundreds of claims every single year. There's no way to do it. So the point that I would say to you about this is you now have to point out those mistakes at appeals counsel to get a remand back to the judge. So, some of these mistakes sound like important ones. Have you already written your brief, submitted to appeals counsel? Where are you at nowadays?
My attorney written it out, and what he told me to do is still go to my physical therapy and get an MRI done again. So I did that, and I'm going to put myself in the hospital. And this time, I'm just going to tell them I just want to knock people out. And he said that should probably sway, because he did not too much believe when I went in the hospital last time that was not enough. So I'm going to have to put myself in the hospital again. This time, probably say something totally different to prove to him that I can do it. And also, you got the vocational allowance. I got to somehow prove that it's more than 10%. Because he kept on saying less than 10. Even in the meeting, he said less than 10. So I got to somehow prove that me going to physical therapy, twice a week, I cannot pick what time I have to go. So I have to go when they tell me to go. And once I go, someone has to drive me. Someone has to pick me up. And also on that, he said that he talked to me for an hour and a half, and he said that I sound normal. He's not a doctor. He's a judge. You don't know how I sound. I could sound nice and kill people. I could be mean and be the nicest person in the world. So how can you tell just by talking to someone if, you that way or not? I just never understood it. I am totally lost.
Okay. And I mean, that's fair. You know what I mean? But, remember, the judges are there to assess what they feel you are as a disabled person. They're kind of like the people who have sat there through zillions and zillions and zillions of hearings. So the SSA entrusts with them the judgment that basically you might be severely impaired, you might not be severely impaired. All right. But that's not really your legal question. Your legal question to me, I think, was more along the lines of, do my arguments make sense for appeals counsel? And yeah, they're pretty good. They're fine. You know what I mean? I'd have to look at the entire record, look at the brief, stuff like that to really know the claim. But you should be okay with some of those arguments to seek a remand. However, don't be surprised when appeals counsel comes back with a template denial and says, so sorry, go have better luck at district court. So don't be surprised. But with that said, good sir, I got to keep it rolling because we're at 9 minutes. Let me get the next caller.
One more quick question.
Yeah.
One more quick question. Should I continue to still continue? Like if I'm going to physical therapy, do they still continue looking at it now, or to just stop at the date that they judge me on the 18th, or can I still get medical records? That's the word I'm looking for.
The only medical record that they're looking at this point, at this next level, is up to that hearing date. And if you were allowed additional time post-hearing, any details, any time post-hearing that was allowed by the judge to submit additional medical records. But other than that, the stuff that you create now is not going to be considered because it's new evidence beyond that hearing date. If you get a remand and they tell you to do a new hearing, then they will go ahead and include any and all new evidence during that period after the hearing. So that's how that works. Yeah.
Okay, then. Hey, I really appreciate you going over this with me, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. You have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Okay, thanks. You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So I just wanted to say, guys, if you like the channel, if you could like the video and subscribe, keep in mind, I think I'm the only disability attorney. In fact, I think I'm the only attorney that goes live twice a week to answer random questions from anybody all over the earth, which is, what most attorneys would say is insane, but I do it. But here we go. Here's the next one. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot, Disability Resolution PA. What is your legal question? And remember to use a fake name throughout this process. How can I help you?
Yes, this is the artist formerly known as Brittany.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I just had a quick two-part question for you. I just scoured the internet, just couldn't find it.
Sure.
When you have a physical and mental impairment with the MEs, would you have one of each, or would you just have one?
With the ME, you mean the medical expert? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Are you a VA person?
No, I'm a CDR at the ALJ.
Okay, so are you saying that basically, because I was just writing a brief on the VA side of this, with the veterans, but the bottom line is, are you saying that when you go in front of the medical expert as part of the CDR, that they will
Mm-hmm.
consider both impairments, even though they're similar, as two separate impairments.
Well, I had a stroke, one of them, and the other one's a mental illness, just straight up.
Okay.
So it would just, they don't really cross paths, but they're both just as important.
So what they would do is, did you have these
Mhm.
originally when you first filed and were found disabled?
One of them, yes, and the stroke, no. But that was a permanent injuries. I have a medical walker and all that prescribed.
Okay. So bottom line is they'll go back and see if the initial impairments you had have become less severe. And if they have, they'll then consider all of your new impairments with whatever remaining old impairments you have. And then they'll go ahead and see if you're still severe, right? You could go on a listing, you could go on a grid out, you could go on a vocational allowance, etc. So they will consider all of these new impairments if and only if your original impairments have improved in any way.
Okay. And I had a second question. And how do you get out of a 202.21 on VE coding? The light work? Because they did that to me for cessation in 2018. And I'm still unfortunately going off of that because COVID has a delay and everything. But they have a wrong assessment. They use my work history instead of my RFC.
Well, what do they do? Like, what were the specifics there?
Oh, they use like there's no hindrance because they're using my work history files. You know, where you put what you used to do and what you used to lift.
Right.
So I'm assuming that's what they went by because there's nowhere else where it say I can do anything. Like I was severely limited. So they went by that and used 202.21, which I guess is unbeatable from what I've seen. But now I've got the VE down to 0 jobs in the national economy based off of medicine side effects and the stroke, and they didn't even use that. They went off a different hypothetical.
So what you're really asking me is, are they allowed to change the thing that they find you disabled on through the 8-step sequential process in a CDR?
Kind of. Like they didn't address the physical one because it was only a mental medical expert. So they didn't address the one that would have said, okay, well, this is what we have to look at. But it was not addressed at all.
So it was a 202.12, right?
Is it 202.21 or 1.2? It's just like you can do it no matter what the job is.
What age were you? What age were you when they did that review?
Oh God, 36, I want to say.
All right, so then you were a younger individual. So 202.21. So that's a younger individual, high school graduate or more, skilled or semi-skilled, skills not transferable. Yeah. And then basically not disabled. So you would not grid out you would basically be found not disabled with that grid option.
Right. But with the new ones, and that was a mistake too. I tried to get them to correct that. They didn't correct it. But yeah, I was just wondering. So there's no way out of that one.
Well, I mean,
because,
you still could get. You're not going to get a grid out at that age group.
No.
You know what I mean? When you're under 50, you don't get grid outs. You just don't get gridded out. It just doesn't happen. So the point is, bottom line, you would have to rely on a Cal listing or vocational allowance. And so, I don't know what they gave you previously, but that's what they would be shooting for. But it doesn't matter.
Well, that's the one they gave me previously. Yeah, I don't know what code they went by on this one. The ALJ long story short, it was just false. 12 pages of false. I know everybody says that, but I mean it.
Well, and that's why I try to tell people with this stuff. Like, obviously, this person is disabled, and that's what they tell me. And I'm just like, I don't think they realize that. Like,
oh no, like she said, I didn't show up. Like,
and that's part of the thing. There's a lot of factually incorrect things that get put down on paper, and it's just part of the process. But no, you're under 50, so every time that they do a grid analysis on you, you're going to fail. But that's not how you get through. You're probably a vocational allowance, so you're okay now.
But if you have a stroke and you can't use, and you have like 2 limbs, don't you have to go on a
probably
MIA?
a listing?
If you're more than 3 months.
Well, I mean, if you're being reviewed, go on a review, or what's the what?
No, I got denied on the ALJ level. I'm on the appeals.
Oh, so you're not appeals counsel.
You would be MINE. Because you can't use it and it's considered permanent after 3 months. I have a prescribed walker and I have bipedal edema, so I can't sit or stand for 6 to 8 hours a day.
So you're wondering, and it's really a bigger question too, because you're wondering now how you can turn this thing around with a judge that found against you. That's what you're really wondering.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. I have kids relying on it too. So like, I'm not lazy. I miss work. You know.
Hold on. I literally just pulled down eBay off my screen because I always have to do two things at once because otherwise my brain goes for like a walk. Yeah. But
I know there's a Palms on it. I just don't remember the one. You know, it's under DI 2 something.
So, and what this, and just to kind of explain, you know, everybody that's watching YouTube, because, you know, keep in mind you're using acronyms and not everybody's going to know. What he's talking about is, yeah, it's medical improvement and the standard of how likely he is to improve. And, you know, if he is, you know, never going to improve, if he's likely to improve, it just gives you a standard on likelihood to improve. And what he's saying is there something that triggers something that keeps me safe, you know, throughout this process? And obviously you found that there wasn't. And now you're at appeals counsel. So, so that's not really going to get you where you want to go. And
okay.
So CDRville. Okay. So you went through a CDR. They could, if you get a remand, but you can't, you can't throw everything on the hopes and dreams of that, because remember,
no, but that's kind of like one of my hinges, you know. I have a couple backups, but I just really want to know, because nowhere does it really clear out. Like not even in SSR 004P, I couldn't get that answer anywhere.
How long has it been since you've been not working too?
2013.
So you got a DLI issue too sitting on this thing. Okay.
Yes, 2017. Yeah. And COVID happened, so I pretty much got canceled until recently. And she just kind of rushed it through. And it's just 12 pages of malarkey is what it is, you know, for lack of better words.
So you got downgraded in medical improvement standard.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was due to a faulty RFC from a medical consultant.
Medical expert.
Or, yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't even see a physical medical expert.
You didn't see one. So it was just an MC that wrote it. So then it would be a medical consultant.
Yeah. I had a mental medical, but not a physical medical expert. So the judge quickly just said, "Oh, you can have a stroke due to this," and just dismissed it. And I think that's playing doctor, in my opinion.
So you got a problem.
When it said it could be because of this.
So who did you have bolstering your side against the medical consultant on their side that delivered the faulty report? I mean, we assume it's faulty.
Well, I just went through my files and found the only thing that actually did say it. They sent out another work history report for some reason, and I filled it out. And well, the MC was shortcutting the notes, I guess, and put the same exact answers I had.
Yeah, 3369
like
isn't. Yeah, a 3369 isn't going to hurt you here. So you want to know what happened with the Battle of the Experts. You got a bad CE from an MC, and now you're sitting there. Why
did 3 errors in the totality of all of it that caused all this?
Why didn't you have medical treatment of your own to combat the MC's RFC report? Okay, what did they say?
They didn't want to use my doctors for some reason. I'm not sure why.
What did they say in the ALJ hearing decision? How do they discredit your doctors?
Oh, she wasn't going by the pre-2017 standards. She was giving preference to the medical expert, but they were using known false evidence. So
how is it known to be false?
1305B. They have federal departments. I don't know if you ever heard of HCA.
But how would they know? Like, here's the thing: when they did their medical assessment, how would they know that it was false?
I can show you right in the records if you've seen it. Like one page says I'm 5'6", the other page says I'm 6'2". One page that says, and this is where they got me, DAA all over the place. But
yeah, drugs and alcohol.
All the rest of them were not. So they hung on that.
Okay.
You know, even though I have like 10 years worth of history on them, they hung on that, and it was an error.
So you got that many.
You can see it substantially.
You've got that many copy and paste errors in an MC report.
Oh yeah, I'm working on that one separately, so hopefully I don't have to be on disability too long. Rick Scott's coming.
All right, so your goal is to reduce the weight of evidence of the MC for mental, and
right. I mean, everything relevant is fine. It's just, you know, I just don't want to be smeared defamatorily. You know what I mean?
Oh no, man, that doesn't matter. That's
No.
What matters are the benefits. Nobody, you know what I mean? You don't care if you're
Yeah,
liable or nobody cares about libel and slander in the disability game. It's all about, did you get
No.
benefits at the end of the day?
right.
All right. So let's think through this. So you want to go ahead and prove that the MC report was incorrect because there's a
Mhm.
bunch of factual errors on it, a copy and paste crap, and therefore you have other evidence that substantiates a stronger opinion that you were more severe, yada yada yada. Okay. So
Yeah, I have heavy evidence on that.
okay.
Mhm.
So you'll probably get a remand back to the same judge. What is your
Well, I'm going 940 on that. She was very, very discriminatory towards me. She was
so you're going to get
really
a different judge.
unprofessional.
Okay.
But I heard that there's a worse one, so it's a bad crapshoot.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to they could give you the same judge or not because it's not a constitutional argument. You could get stuck with the judge.
Yeah, well,
So then, basically, your only real hope here is to at some point get a remand because on
Mhm.
factual little mistakes, they're never going to give you a district or circuit court approval.
no.
So
I did get an extension from the appeals council to turn in information, but that's all I've gotten from them. I didn't get a denial.
who's the attorney working on it? Well, you don't have to say their name,
Oh
but
no, that'd be me. I can't afford one on CDR.
right.
I didn't know anything about law before I started watching the channel anyway. But
Sure.
I'm just trying to pick up. I've been disabled since 1989.
Sure.
Really, I was a disabled child and all that. But I worked and got my SGA, and then this happened.
I can't help you that much in like this setting
No,
because
you're
you know what I
fine.
mean it's
You're
like a
fine.
5 to 7 minute yada yada because I'd have to
Yeah.
so what I'd have to look at is what your what your psychiatrist, psychologist, behavioralists were saying,
Right.
and then the timeline, and then basically tell you what types of evidence to get going forward because
Oh, yeah.
you have to prove that they relied on a faulty document to seek remand
Okay.
back to OHO, ALJ, but a different ALJ because of whatever happened. And
Right.
so once you
Okay,
do
so
that, you have to be prepared to show with the past evidence and future evidence, like getting more RFCs completed, that you truly were far more severe. And then you have a battle of the experts, but you have more chess pieces on your side of the field that are higher level. So
Right. I'm hoping so.
yeah.
Hoping so.
All right. How are we
But I
on
do
time?
have evidence as a template.
Yeah.
My doctors go further back, and there are further documents of that than the HCA records. So that's not an issue. And they're extensive, and they're all in line with each other. They're all consistent. 709. I'm trying to remember all these.
But what I don't understand, and then we really do have to go to the next caller because we've been on for 13
Yes.
something minutes.
Mhm.
But
Oh, you're fine.
what I really don't understand is why did the judge even mention your mental providers? Did he mention why he discredited them?
Well, it was all on the mental side. The doctor, she made the mistake of saying, "Oh, well, that's not an accredited doctor," when the mental doctor was at the individual level of practice. So there was a mistake there.
Of what level? Were they doctor,
Independent
postdoctorate?
level.
No.
I'm not
Yeah,
I
like
think
what?
it's a doctorate.
Okay, so were they a specialist? Were they a regular? What level were they?
Oh, no,
at?
it's a specialist. It's a specialist.
Yeah, I was gonna say because if it's mental, all right. So
Yeah, I would figure that would fall under the 709.
okay, so apparently there's somebody that's hold on, let me just do this. Okay, and here we go. Cool. All right, so here's what I would say.
Mhm.
All right. I have to look at your record, to figure out what the deal is. I'd have to see what your medical reports were, and then go from there. But bottom line is, this is more of one of those things where you just hire me for an hour to look at and figure out what your next step should be. Yeah, that's one of those gigs because man, we've been on way too long just for this.
I'm sorry. I tried to make it quick with all the acronyms and stuff.
No, you did a good job. You did good because it's a complex situation. I mean, it's not super simple,
and believe me, I'm really simplifying it still. It's
very
complicated.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I would love to give it to you when I'm done.
Yeah. But all right. Well, no worries, good sir. Just catch up with me down the line, and we'll take a look at it and kind of go from there. But
sounds good.
Let me grab the next caller. I'll catch you a little bit later, and we'll go from there. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. You have yourself a wonderful night, sir.
You as well, good sir. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, that's going to be a more complex situation because he's got to hit the golf ball in the direction of a remand, and he's got to really sink that hole. Because if he has to go to district court over something like this, it's going to be a little bit trickier over those arguments. Let me do one more phone call. Just one more phone call coming in. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I just put Rodeo Clown Obama in a timeout. So basically, yeah. So if you guys see any more stuff from him, then he shouldn't. He's on a timeout for 30 minutes. So here we go. Okay, here we go. Next caller. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember, he's a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hello?
Yep. Howdy, howdy, good sir.
Yes, I just have one question. I got my disability approved,
Mhm.
and I was only the onset date was wrong, and I was on appeal for the onset date. On last October, they gave me the onset date that I was requesting, but they haven't put it on the system yet. And it has been like 7 months. And I call every month, and they tell me that they send the money to the request to the pay center or whatever, give them 30 days, and nothing happened, And the thing is that I qualify for my Medicare in July, but if they don't if they don't put on the system the setup date, the new setup date, I won't be able to get it. So
Yeah, because you got the
what
24-month
can I
waiting
do?
period. Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to do it for me 24-month period. I've been disabled since 2022, but the original date was May, starting in November. So I challenged that, and they changed it to February, starting in July of 2022. They did that on paper. They sent me the letter. Everything was approved, but they haven't put it on the system. And since October, I've been calling them, and the paper is the date is approved, but they haven't updated the system. So what can I do? If there's anything I can do.
So just to clarify, just so I understand this, they put it in an official letter to you that they amended the alleged onset date farther back in time, which helps you get your Medicare because of the 24, and it's really 29-month because of the extra 5-month waiting period. But so they've gone ahead and done that on official SSA field office letter outgoing to you. And you have that letter, and yet still inside their system, they haven't changed it.
Exactly.
All right, then you got to call the regional office and get them to go ahead and correct that. Because literally, you just need anybody at the field office to go in, click the edit button, and put in a new AO. I mean, they might have to have, depending on how far back it is, a manager might have to approve it, or a manager might have to do it. But the thing I would do is, if I were you, I would look at your regional field office, reach out to them, and request that they go ahead and call the local field office and ask for them to basically fix that issue.
So that will be it.
Yeah,
I already talked to him. I already talked to a manager on the local office, and he sent an email. Like he told me to send an email like manager to manager, but to the pay center, and they keep telling me, well, it was 30 days, and then 30 days is gonna be taken care of. Because it's manager to manager, so now he has more like kind of status or whatever. But I have been going through that story since October of 2023.
Yeah, man, I would go to the regional office because remember, when the regional office gets involved, there are basically there's a whole system at the SSA about the SSA field office personnel fixing things and how timely they are at fixing things, and that all gets measured through district offices and OIG and stuff like that. So you want to reach out to if they've taken since September to not fix this so far, go reach out to the regional field office, and they'll get somebody there to go ahead and rectify the issue. Because remember, it's literally a phone call for them to call somebody, and then that manager at the local field office doesn't want to get another phone call from that regional field office rep. So they'll go ahead and usually just squeeze it through if it's something that they can squeeze it through.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate your help on that.
Yeah, and remember,
I'll try that out.
Oh yeah, the regional field office might not be in your state. So just when you look it up, remember they're regional. So it's like a grouping of states talks to one regional, like my regional field office that I usually deal with is in Georgia, but yours might be in a different state than where you're actually at.
Okay.
Perfect.
I will try to figure that out, and I will call them and go from there.
Perfect, good sir. You have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Thank you so much, and thank you for what you're doing for all of us.
Thank you, good sir. I'll catch you later. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So real quick, everybody, that was going to be the last phone call. I'm going to go over to the chat section, see if there's any questions in the chat section. And also, please remember, and I see a donation here, which is awesome. Batty Beth, thank you for the $2 donation. That's absolutely amazing. Also, we have Walter Scott. I love that pair. How's it going? With the $5 donation. Very, very cool. Love it with the belly. So with that said, are there any questions that you guys have for me that you can put into the chat section right at the bottom here so I can go ahead and answer them for you real quick? And then we should be good to go. With that said, let me see if there's any questions. If not, I think I'm going to go to the post office and then basically come back and go to bed. Now, I'm taking tomorrow morning off from the office. I'm not going to be starting at the office until 12 noon because by the time I get back from the USPS, it'll be about 3:30 to 4 tonight. So 12 noon, keep in mind, you won't get me on the phone until that point. Okay. Chow Show said, Walter, what do you suggest if I want my DAC back pay for the 13 years I was supposed to get? They're not going to give you all 13 years. They're going to give you like, a period from when you filed forward, in that general area, but they're not going to give you DAC is going all the way back. They don't give you unlimited DAC back pay. They just don't do that. Let's see what's the next one here. Julie Thomas says, handing Walter a set of toothpicks to hold his eyelids open. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's so many bright lights on me that, I am just horribly, horribly tired. I woke up and started working at, I think 7:30. No, I woke up at 7. I was working by 7:30. And even my teeth are like my front teeth right here are just kind of like numb. My eyes feel sunken back from the back of my head. And I'm just super duper 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 tired because it's just there's this a lot of this work to do it right. You have to spend a lot of time, and it just doesn't pay well. So it's just one of those things like you can't hire a lot of people to do a lot of things. So Sweetie's doing really well. She's on the bed, all the way in the bedroom. Her leg is fully healed, the bone fully connected. The bone. I never got a chance to edit that video. I have to get that done, but I usually do that stuff when I'm going up to New Jersey. So I have like stuff to load while I'm, basically flying or driving up. So next thing, let's see. Lisa Boston, I don't know how you do it. I'm at that point though. You got to remember, like, I'm doing an inhuman thing because I'm young enough to do it. If you look at the older disability attorneys, they can't do this. Like they can't practice and do YouTube and do it. They can't do all that stuff. So this is merely I'm 38 years old. I can probably do it for a couple more years. And then I'm going to have to like pick what I'm going to actually do because there's just no way to do all of it. Or I'm just going to have to find a way to hire more people. Like the YouTube channel will just have to make enough to hire enough people to do that stuff. What else? Please be careful driving. Will do, Diana. Let's see. Okay, Kimberly Turner said, if you didn't have to file for taxes in 2020, how do I apply for the money that I possibly could be eligible? They're saying government has $2 billion. I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point you just get like, something off your taxes, or they send you a check once you do file your taxes. But again, I'm not a tax attorney. I don't do tax stuff. Okay, Kelly Morgan, what mental form should I have my doctor fill out while waiting for a decision? I mean, an RFC form, just an RFC form. If you want to look up SSA, disability RFC forms, there's a bunch of template ones online. You can also go ahead and if you email me, I'll send you the one that we use. That's fine. Let's see. Lauren said, if a doctor has given a function report on migraines and seizures stating you have 5 marked limitations and 4 mild, will this hold decent weight in a decision being made? Well, I mean, it depends on, are they 5 marked impairments or are they 5 marked limitations as to functional capacity, like, concentration, stuff like that? So, I mean, 5 marked is pretty darn good. So, if you're looking for like, let's see, function report, migraine, seizures, yeah, that's pretty good. That should have a lot of weight there. Let's see, Deb Carter, Walter, thank you for helping everyone. You rock. Thank you. All right. So, Draco said, read my question, read above. Man, don't make me scroll. Draco, I'm 31. Highest grade is 8th. Filing for breathing and mental illness. My luck getting approved. So depends on your reading ability, depends on what types of jobs you've done, depends on your capacity to continue to work, depends on severity of your impairments, depends on if you're earning money right now that's being put on the record as tax oriented money. So yeah, depends on a lot. I'd have to see your file to actually know, like, really, really good there. All right. Other than that, everybody, I will catch you guys a little bit later. You have a wonderful night. Please remember to, if you reap any benefit from this, please go to Google and type in Disability Resolution Law Firm or Disability Resolution Florida. And for the review section, go ahead and throw some stars up there, because they really help me not have to pay Google significantly more to go ahead and advertise, because frankly, we're a disability law firm. We don't make that kind of money. We don't make personal injury law firm money. So bottom line is that really helps me out, because it kind of helps us get up there. And it's not super important like it used to be, because now the YouTube channel has thousands and thousands of videos, the most viewed and subscribed to Disability Attorney in America. So it's not like it was, where it's like, oh, we need those 5 stars, blah blah blah. But still, honestly, when I wake up and I see him, it just makes me feel, gives me a little boost. So that's pretty much, if you want to give me a caffeine boost, you go to Google. So anyways, I'll catch you guys later. You have a wonderful, wonderful night, and we will go from there. And I will catch you probably in about 2 days. All right. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.